It's incredibly stupid, but I deeply wish magic was real. Part 3. Commenter: magic is quite real, just every bit as inaccessible as it is in fantasy. You just aren't willing to accept that you're not one that can or will harness the inaccessible. Flamethrowers are real. Piloting is real. Everything magical is real. It's just that we've termed it science and no one wants to go through to trouble to learn enough to make that magic happen. At least, those who dream of it, because those who don't and want to live it. Original poster: I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about different things. I've actually piloted an airplane before, though I've never held a flamethrower. My point is that these things are what my irrational brain is looking for. It wants to be able to snap my fingers and have something supernatural happen. There are real, scientific ways to do much of the same things, but that part of my head isn't satisfied. So I suppose the conscious, rational part of my mind has accepted your initial point, but the subconscious, emotional part refuses to. It feels dysfunctional somehow. Commenter: can you tell me of an actual story, fantasy or otherwise, in which someone can just snap their fingers and make something happen? No fight, no forethought, no preparation, no trial and tribulation, no learning. Because, honestly, that sounds boring as all hell. What you're saying is that you want a game genie for life, and that makes for a terrible story and a broken game. Original poster: I'm sure you know that isn't what I mean. If it took decades of work to get to the point where I could, if I reuse my previous wording, snap my fingers and have something supernatural happen, that would be fine. The problem isn't the effort, it's the effect. Commenter: but that's the thing. A flamethrower isn't difficult to operate. Dropping bombs or launching missiles are the click of a button. Like, if you're talking about in-game effort, there's never any. Original poster: I'm not sure if there's a way to keep this conversation going, but I'll try a bit longer. It seems as though you're deliberately ignoring my original point. Let's stick with the fire example. What my monkey brain wants isn't flame in general, but flame coming from my hand at will, without having to rely on combustion or other scientific phenomena. Because of that, a flamethrower doesn't meet that desire. Real-world ways of producing fire in hand aren't going to fill that hole. Throwing a potato and shooting a potato both result in potato goes over there. But if you wanted the experience of shooting a potato gun, you probably wouldn't be satisfied with chucking potatoes, no matter how hard you threw them. Even if they made a mini flamethrower that's strapped to your wrist like Spider-Man's web shooters, letting you throw fire like a firebender, you can't pretend that that's identical to fantasy pyrokinesis. If there's someone who can't be reasoned with who demands pyrokinesis and accepts nothing else, then the substitutes don't matter. Unfortunately, I have to share skull space with something like that. Commenter: no, dude. What I'm telling you is that you clearly do not realize that this is reality. As in, all of your wildest dreams are like, actual. Fantasy doesn't exactly exist anymore, just the means to deliver it. You want to throw flames from your hands, bro? You can! Just, either, make enough money to buy the thing that lets you or figure out how to make it happen yourself. That's the beauty of science, really. It is the understanding of reality, and that actually doesn't mean to understand of the rules of reality. No, it means understanding reality so that the rules we've set for ourselves can be broken. There are no rules, homie. We can literally do whatever we want with this. We just have to figure out how, and some of it requires more expertise and intelligence than others. Original poster: I hate to say it, but I think we're irrevocably talking past each other. Part of my reply specifically said that a mini hand flamethrower would not be the same thing. Start of the third paragraph. You can see the comment isn't edited. In the same way, something that shoots liquid nitrogen isn't the same as cryokinesis. A jetpack isn't the same as magical flight. Instructing a robot to pick up an object with a neural interface isn't the same as telekinesis. The bottom line is that technological solutions will not scratch the itch. There are insurmountable differences. It's a fantastic motivational speech that anything is possible, but that clearly isn't the case in real life. For example, it's impossible to produce the fire-throwing effect without a flamethrower or similar device. Science is constrained to obey the laws of combustion. I suppose it's possible that there could be some fantastic solution in the future, but it isn't something that exists now or in the foreseeable future. No matter how much an ancient Roman would want to fly, they would never live to see an airplane. We have to accept that there are actual limitations to things in real life. Otherwise, we're living a fantasy that gets in the way of enjoying reality. Right now, at this moment, without any extra equipment, can you jump in the air and stay there? You can't. Scientific solutions don't break the law of gravity, they work around it. I may have to also accept that this simply isn't compatible with your worldview, and I won't be able to show you otherwise. Unless the reply shows a willingness to discuss constructively, paying attention to all the points I've made, I will not be replying myself.